We've put Mycenean behind us, but the time's come to set our course. Where to, Jason?
We sail for Saria.
As you say.
Listen closely, Skion. This needs no replacement. I want him dead. I want his shield, and that ship returned to Iolcus. We have agents close enough to reach Saria before. See that they are there to welcome him.
Yes, Jason.
We've arrived at Saria. We will go ashore to seek a descendant of Hermes.
Saria was once home to a particularly vicious breed of manticores. Some of the Blacktongues would often scheme of coming here to trap and breed them.
Did they?
Not that I know of. Saria is so remote, I don't think anything ever came of it. I'll be here if you need me. As always.
Centaurs, eh? Good warriors. Great scouts. Their homeland of Arcadia is a place of constant war. I've never heard of centaurs living away from there, though.
Tell me of your own deeds. How Ares favored you in battle.
I remember the first time Ares came to me in battle. It was against the Corinthians. Damn Olivitas. Most of our ships hadn't even hit the beach, but I was young and stupid and starving for glory. As soon as we landed, I took a company of men and rode for the enemy camp. Before we knew it, we were surrounded by them. We fought like rabid dogs. There were so many. My standard bearer took an arrow to the neck. Young kid, 15. The sight filled me with such fury. Red mist descended upon the field, and I felt a tremendous surge of power. Alone, I charged into the thickest throng. The only sound I heard was the crack of Corinthian bones beneath my mace. Turns out, without even realizing it, I fought my way to their general and sculled him. Before my armies ever showed up, the Corinthians fled the field. That was the power of Ares.
Tell me of your own deeds. How Ares favored you in battle.
I remember this one time, fighting the Blacktonuges and their Ionian mercenaries in the Cyclades. Now they had this one warrior, real terror, fastest swordsman I'd ever seen. So he calls me out, single combat to decide the day. Normally, I don't like such challenges. Robs my men of their chance for glory. But this Ionian was too good to pass up, so I accepted. 2 times we engaged, and 2 times I came away cut. Did I say he was fast? Like frightened quicksilver.
What did you do?
I got angry. I called to Ares. He let my fury wash away all pain, all feeling. So the next time the Ionian came, I exposed my side to him. Naturally, he took the bait and ran me through. Oh, I let him bury that sword deep in my side. I felt nothing, and there he was, nice and close, and his sword stuck in me. I crushed his skull like a grape. I tell you, I heard Ares laughing. as I passed out.
Tell me of your own deeds. How Ares favored you in battle.
Did I ever tell you of the time I fought in the arena?
You were a gladiator?
For a day. I was just a boy, 16 or so. My father had forbidden me from fighting there, but the cheers of the crowd were too great a temptation. So I disguised myself as a Thracian soldier and entered a Macedonian melee, every man for himself. Things started well enough. I killed 3 or 4 men, all much older than myself, before this Minoan sculled me from behind. As I sat there, trying to remember my own name, the Minoan dispatched the rest of the field. Then he came back to finish me off. He looked up to the royal box for approval. There's my father, my life hanging in his decision. He gets up and addresses the entire arena.
And what did he say?
This little whelp is not worthy of a warrior's death, here beneath the gaze of Ares. Let him live, so that he can learn the shame of his defeat. The crowd whistled and jeered me off the floor. I swear, I saw a smile play across the face of Ares' statue. Later that night, my father sent up a skin of Thracian wine to my room. I guess I had food.
Let me know if you require anything. I take my leave.
Finally, chance to get some work done. You've no idea how difficult it is to level something when you're being tossed about by waves.
So far, so good. The locals seem, well, they don't seem hostile.
There's 2 kinds of centaurs. The big kind, they're the warriors and chiefs. Then there's the wee ones, relatively speaking. They're the scouts and runners.
Let's play again. You were cheating.
Cheating? How so?
Your breath carried on the wind and distracted me.
Really?
Perhaps Jason would care to join our game.
What are you playing?
A small game of wits, of memory.
How does it work?
We each take turns naming a god of Olympus. You must answer quick, or forfeit your turn. The first to repeat a god already named, or the first to take too long to answer, loses.
Be warned, Jason. I have an excellent memory.
Let's play.
Excellent. As the newcomer to our game, we'll start with
Hera.
Artemis,
Apollo. Zeus.
Athena,
Ares.
Hephaestus.
Dionysus,
Aphrodite.
Demeter.
Hades,
Poseidon. Ha! You lose!
Memory is a mysterious visitor who sometimes lingers and sometimes only passes by.
Horsefolk. Vicious things in my experience. They eat babies, you know.
I've never heard such tales.
Oh yes, they love the taste of human flesh. It's quite well known on Mycenean.
These on the docks appear no threat. At least not yet.
Likely to lose. I say we spear them where they stand.
They've done us no harm. If there's to be a fight, they'll make the first move.
There are satyrs here on Saria, cruel and vicious.
Why aren't there more satyrs like you, Pan?
Oh, I'm not so different from the others. We share the same fundamental nature, at the heart of which is the uncontrollable pursuit of our own desires. Their desires are just more limited than my own.
Your desires, as you put it, consider more than just yourself.
I'm not sure altruism exists. Can we have a completely unselfish desire to help others? Let us pretend we're two rival shepherds, and we're beset by a ravenous wolf. If you betray me by opening my herd gate, the wolf will eat my entire flock, but spare all your animals. If you don't betray me, but I betray you, the wolf will eat your animals and spare mine. If we both betray each other, the wolf will glut on both our flocks, and we will each lose half our beasts. If neither of us betrays the other, the wolf must feed while our flocks graze, and will each lose only a tenth. So what would you do? Betray me or not?
Whichever choice you make, I'm best served by betraying you. If you betray me, I'd lose my entire flock, unless I also betrayed you in kind. If you don't betray me, then I can keep all my animals by betraying you.
As it is from me, and so we betray each other. We each then lose half our flocks, when by the altruistic path we'd have only lost a tenth. How can altruism succeed when it is always the worst of choices?
Let's do it.
Right, let's go.
At your service.
Nahene traveler, what is your business on Saria?
I am Jason, captain of the Argonauts. We seek a descendant of Hermes.
Here? I know nothing of what you seek.
Tell me, are you the leader of your tribe?
No. Lycus is the Aleph of the Nesiros. You should speak with him. A friendly satyr will be a welcome sight. He's in the village ahead. Take the trail east past the beach.
Then we'll go and see him now.
Take caution, traveler. Saria is dangerous these days, especially for those who do not know it.
I am Brian. In Hermes' name, I welcome you to Saria. But if you want my advice, do as we do. Leave now and forget you ever saw this cursed place.
Why do you say this place is cursed?
A year ago, the Nesiros held the entire island. Now all we can claim is this pitiful beach and a small village on the hills. We have the beast Hecate to thank for that. She rules the jungle.
I've heard many tales of fearsome beasts, but none of this Hecate.
Consider yourself lucky, Satan. It descended on us but a year ago. Came from nowhere. Imagine a creature twice my size, with poison talons the length of my arm, and yet it leaves no tracks. Distills no smell. Hecate is foul. faster than the Argos. Dare you blink, and she is upon you. The perfect reptile. Kichita. Part of me can see why the Satyrs worship it.
How many of your tribe are left?
There is not but 1 in 10 who remain from the original colony. We sent away our females and younglings first. Most of our males have since fallen. Only a handful of stubborn fools still argue we should stay and fight. None more stubborn than Lycus himself.
Sometimes a leader must be stubborn.
Until one day he finds he has got no tribe left to lead. No more time to talk, traveler. There is much to prepare before the barge returns. Consider yourself warned. My duty by Hermes is done. Fair winds.
I can't read this. I think it's in Centaur.
Perhaps I can get a sense of it. Let's see. My centaur is a bit out of practice, but I believe this hymn refers to the arrival of the Nesiros tribe to Saria. It appears they sailed for months to get here. It says the messenger guided them.
Bisa, don't leave. You were by my side from the beginning.
We were wrong, Lycus. We should not have come here.
Don't say that. Hypnage must live near the shrine. One last push and we can bring back the bridge. We can do it, Bisa. We can save our people.
Look around you, Lycus. There is no village left to save. I will be on the next barge. I hope you are on it too.
Come to see Lycus? Perhaps an outsider can convince him to leave.
Nihene, I am Lycus, Aleph of the Nesiros. You are the travelers who arrived on the great boat?
I am Jason, King of IoIcus. We've heard of your troubles. May they soon pass. We seek a descendant of Hermes on this island. Demilion said you'd be the one to ask.
Then I'm sorry to disappoint you. Hermes has abandoned this village. You will not find his blood here.
Perhaps elsewhere on this island?
Beyond this tribe, only brutes and beasts call Saria home. I doubt they are what you seek. There is a shrine to Hermes on Saria, but it lies across an impassable ravine to the north. Between here and there is the jungle, Satyr territory. My tribe knows a way across, but it would be dangerous.
Whatever the danger, we're not leaving until we find what we seek.
Then our purposes may align, Jason. I too have a reason to visit the shrine.
What do you hope to find there?
My tribe is being driven off this island. A beast we call Hecate hunts my people. Its very presence has turned the satyrs against us. Try as we might, we cannot kill the beast in the wild.
How would Hermes' shrine change that?
I suspect Hecate's den is near the shrine. Even the most fearsome beasts must rest. If we find its home, we can kill it.
Now for the catch. How does one cross the ravine to reach the shrine?
Soon after arriving on Saria, we discovered a pair of ancient herms, divine monuments created by Hermes himself. When we relit the devotional flames and prayed before these herms, a sacred bridge extended across the ravine.
These herms, they're in the jungle.
Now overrun by satyrs. Yes, but if they can be reclaimed, then the shrine is open to us.
Can you spare one of your scouts to help us find the sacred herms?
I will give you our best, my daughter. She will show you what must be done to restore the bridge. Once across, she can determine if the beast's den is there. With that proof, I believe enough of my people will be willing to make one more attempt to slay Hecate. My people will be saved, and you will gain access to Hermes' most sacred site. What say you, Jason?
I say we have a deal. 1 gold, 2 worthy purposes.
Praise Hermes. Chromus!
Yes, Aleph?
Tell my daughter to welcome our guests. She is to be their guide.
It will be as you say, Aleph.
My daughter's lodge is across from mine. She is headstrong, but she knows this land better than any other. Fair winds to you, Jason. The hopes of my tribe now rest in your hands. May you find what you seek.
It's not in the nature of these beasts to be tamed.
Not to be rude, traveler, but your presence upsets these beasts. Makes them want their dinner, and it isn't time yet.
Hecate, traveler. I can't let you leave until you've spoken to Lycus.
We have. We're headed to Hermes' shrine.
Not without a guide, you're not. I'll believe that when you've got one of our own to show you the way.
You went into the jungle, didn't you? Found some satyrs, I see. Or did they?
Shut it, Cronus. Phalian's out there somewhere. If the satyrs got him, he won't last long.
He knew the risk, same as you. Olezina Olezen.
Hautakuni. He'd have gone looking for you.
And that's why he is Hecnage's next meal and I am still alive. Enough of him. I see our guests outside. Lycus says you are to guide them.
Guide them? Wata agaze. Heteke welo.
How should I know? They're your kind, not mine. His name is Jason. King or something. Perhaps you can be his princess.
Manticore have your tongue?
You're Lycus's daughter? You're human.
Sharp eye, stranger. What gave me away?
Amazing. You speak the Centaur tongue better than any human I've heard.
A scholar. How exciting. The name's Atalanta. Now what's this about me being a guide? What's going on?
It appears we have a common goal. We need to get to Hermes' shrine.
Why?
We seek a descendant of Hermes. The shrine seems the best place to search.
Not the answer I was expecting, but fair enough. Next question. What makes you think you can reach the shrine when our best warriors have failed?
We're willing, we're able, and with you, we've got a guide. I like our odds.
You've got no shortage of Tiza, I'll give you that.
Tiza?
It means either courage or foolishness. Not sure yet which. I could look for failure. All right, Jason. You've got yourself a guide.
Glad to have you, Atalanta.
We should speak to some of the others before we leave. The Beastmaster, Nessus, was out in the jungles just last week. He'd know the Satyr positions. One of our scouts went missing this morning. His father, Gilios, might know more about where he went. The day gets no younger, and neither do we. Let's go stretch our legs. Unless you've got questions for me.
How did you come to be a member of a Centaur tribe?
My parents brought me here as a babe. After they died, I was alone. A few years ago, the Nesiros arrived. At first, I hid from them, watching from a distance. One day, I returned to the cave where I was living and found Lycus waiting for me. He'd been watching me and tracked me to my home. He offered me a place in the tribe. Though I was not as big or as fast as a centaur, my knowledge of Saria was useful to the Nesiros.
You lived on your own after your parents died? For how long?
Hard to say. 8, 10 years. My father taught me how to hunt. I learned for myself how to stay alive. Before the centaurs came, I hadn't spoken a word in years. The leaves rustling in the wind, the tracks of my prey, the beat of the satyr drums. That was my language.
Why did your parents come to such a remote place to raise you?
That's a mystery that died with them. They seldom talked of their life before Saria. From what I can recall, they were running from some trouble, hiding from something that pursued them.
How did they meet their end? If you would share the tale, that is.
Manticores. Before the centaurs cleared the island, Saria was infested with them. One day, my mother and I were out gathering herbs in a place we thought was safe. We were attacked by a pride of manticores. My mother held them at bay and told me to flee. I made it home, and my father raced back to find her. I never saw them again after that. Not even their bodies.
You know better than us what lies ahead. I want your honest opinion of our chances.
The satyrs don't worry me. They're easily frightened by a show of force. It's Hecate that's the real threat. She can't be killed in the wild. If she attacks, she does so without warning. Even if we manage to wound her, she'll simply vanish.
So, we've got 2 ancient Hermes to restore before we can get to Hermes' shrine. Where are they?
Both lie in the jungle, deep in Satyr territory. One is in a jungle clearing, just past the Bloody Plains. The other is in a cave, to the east. I know the way.
This missing scout, what do you think happened to him?
He was looking for lethcaps. Mushrooms our tribe uses to treat illness and pain. Phalion's father, Gilios, is in poor health. Our stores of lethcaps are nearly gone. Phalion knew this. I fear he strayed from his patrol, hoping to find some.
And if he went into the jungle?
Then we can only hope the satyrs got him and are keeping him alive. If Hecate found him, then he is gone.
We can talk more later. For now, let's stay alert and move out.
Bright eyes, light feet. To Hermes' shrine.
What is it, Atalanta?
We're headed for Hermes' shrine. Myself and these travelers.
Does Lycus know of this?
It was his idea.
That desperate fool. And just who are these travelers?
My name is Jason. This is Pan. He's unlike the satyrs you may be used to here.
A pleasure. Why are you so willing to help us?
We're here for our own reasons. As it happens, it appears we can help each other.
Perhaps it appears that way to Lycus, but his judgment is not what it once was.
Nessus, you were the last to venture into the jungles. What can you tell us?
Satyrs are closer than ever. Jungles are crawling with them. They've made a den in the cave where one of the sacred herds is located, so expect a fight. Anything else?
Have you done battle with Hecate?
She came for me once, out in the jungle. Her first strike caught me by surprise, but my armor turned away the stinger. Fortunate for me, some satyrs were drawn to the commotion. They provided Hecate with an easy meal while I escaped. There's not a beast alive I can't track, except her. She's a nasty girl, all right.
What is it that you do?
A beastmaster masters beasts. I tame what can be tamed, and kill what can't. Any threat, tamed or killed, except for Hecate, of course.
Thank you for your help, Nessus.
Odds are you're heading to your death. Don't thank me for that.
Atalanta, what news of Phaleon? Did you find him?
No, Gelios. I searched the entire perimeter. He's not there. Do you think he would have gone looking for Lethcaps?
He would not have gone past the bloody plains into the jungle without telling me. If the satyrs attacked him outside the jungle, it means they grow bolder than ever.
Gelios, these travelers and I are headed for Hermes' shrine. I'll look for Phaleon on the way.
Hermes' shrine? An important mission, Atalanta, and one that must be recorded.
Gelios is the tribe's lore guard.
Traveler, by what name will our history remember him?
My name is Jason. But how you will remember me is a question best answered after we return from Hermes' shrine.
Indeed. That is likely true. And what of your companion?
Names. I've many of them. You may call me Pan.
Great deeds loom before you. I will pray for your success. Should you find Phaleon, I will be forever in your debt.
What are the origins of the Nesiros?
The Nesiros has roots in all the Centaur tribes. Our group was formed from centaurs who believed in Lycus's vision and willingly left their old tribes behind. As for our name, some thought we should keep old tribal names or merge them into something new. In the end, Lycus suggested we call ourselves the Nesiros. In the Centaur tongue, it simply means tribe.
Your son, Phaleon. What was he doing outside the village?
Phalion is one of our few remaining scouts still willing to venture out. He left early this morning to patrol the perimeter from the cliffs to the bloody plains and back again. He should have been back hours ago.
Gilios, do you plan to leave with the others?
That is a question I have yet to answer for myself. I would hate for our history to be so brief, and yet, what can be done? I will discuss it with Phalion when I see him next.
Farewell, Gilios. We'll keep an eye out for Phalion on our way.
I thank you for that. May Hermes guide your path.
Gilios is too proud, and I would never say it in front of him.
Atalanta. We're out at Lethcaps. I gave the last to Strachus for his arm.
I haven't seen any lately, Pantaleon. The satyrs must be harvesting them, even close to the village. We're going to make for Hermes' shrine. If I see any on the way, I'll collect them.
What are these Lethcaps? And why do the satyrs harvest them?
The Lethcaps are a type of mushroom that we found here on Saria when we arrived. When ingested in small quantities, they numb pain and aid in the healing process. The satyrs eat them as part of their primitive rituals.
We also suspect they force them on their captives to make them docile before they're sacrificed. With the satyrs in control of the jungle, they're devouring all the Lethcaps.
You have many wounded to tend to, Pantaleon.
What, this? Today is a good day, traveler. You should have seen us after the battle on the bloody plains. The whole village was an infirmary that day.
What took place on the bloody plains?
A great battle. Every centaur who could hold a spear took part. We fought the satyrs for 3 days straight. In the end, we drove them off, but we lost many of our own. Lately, the satyrs are venturing further from the jungle. That bodes ill for this village.
Who wounded these centaurs?
This lot ran into a pack of satyrs while they were gathering food in the jungle, just past the bloody plains. Our stores of herbs and food are critically low. If we forage, we are killed. If we don't, we starve.
Thank you for your time, Pantaleon.
Those caps must be kicking in. Yuwate panta, itomi po kitaka.
That's Strachus. Ichipe, Pantaleon. How many caps did you give him?
3. He got his skull bashed by a satyr sling.
3? He'll be flying for days.
Ha, panta. What a tokechi. Ganyes. Ganyes.
How was he hurt?
What else? Satyrs. Hypnage does not leave wounded. Strachus was ambushed in the jungle while scouting. One of those fiends slung a rock at his head. His skull's been aching since.
Anola fa. That rock cost him 4 warriors. Boorah!
What mushrooms did he eat?
Lethcaps. They ease pain and help wounds heal. There are side effects, but our size helps to dilute their mind-altering effects. If one of your size were to eat just a single cap, you'd likely go mad.
Fascinating. I'd love to examine one of these caps.
Not now, Pan.
Ha, panta. What a tokechi. Ganyes. Ganyes.
Can you tell me what he's saying?
Ah, tato se capa. Sampe he tato nikaje suta.
He says we should milk the foul-smelling goat and make cheese.
Outrageous! If he wasn't otherwise incapacitated, I would take offense.
That's awkward.
Ganyes. Ganyes.
Heal well, Strachus.
There you are, Atalanta. Did you find Phalion?
No, Croesus. I fear he's in the jungle.
Poor Chelios, his only son.
Jason, this is Croesus, a close friend of my father's.
Well met, Croesus. Did you know Lycus before arriving on Saria?
Oh, we've been friends over a century now. Our tribes were briefly allied during the 1,000 Years' War.
It's said the Centaurs fought for 1,000 years before deciding to begin the 1,000 Years' War.
Our legend says the war began when two centaurs arrived at a river ford at the same time. Both insisted the other cross first, but neither would agree, not wanting to be beholden to the other. They ended up killing each other, and their tribes went to war after that.
There's a lesson for us all in that tale. Great oaks can grow from small oaks.
Wise words, traveler.
I noticed Lycus has a lame front leg. Do you know how that happened?
Tell the tale, Croesus.
Back on Arcadia, Lycus had gathered most of his followers at the port of Aressa, from where we were to sail. However, a small band of supporters from one of the remote tribes had been delayed. Now, Lycus had made many enemies, those who viewed him as a troublemaker, a tribe splitter. One night, a horde of raiders under the command of an angry Aleph attacked our camp.
That was when Lycus was wounded. The healer says his leg would have mended had he rested after the battle.
That's right, Atalanta. But your father knew another attack would soon come. So he ordered us all to set sail while he raced off on that busted leg to find those stragglers. And he did find them, and he got them out of Arcadia, but he'll never run again because of it.
We take our leave, Perseus.
Hey there, little filly. Found a couple new friends there, did you?
Gorgidos, how are you, you big oaf?
I was just thinking about something. You know how they say manticore meat is an acquired taste? Well, damn it, how long's that supposed to take? Been 3 years and still tastes like twice-baked dung to me.
Jason, if you don't like hearing bad manticore and satyr jests, I suggest you keep your distance from Gorgidos.
Ah, come now. I've got a couple of new ones you haven't heard yet.
Let's hear one of your jests, Gorgidos.
Of course. Now, you look like a smart one. Tell me, which side of a manticore has the most quills? Why, the outside!
Let's hear another.
Heard this one yet? What's the difference between my wife and Hypnageia? One's an oversized, vicious, black-hearted centaur eater, and the other's Hypnageia!
I'm sure your wife would love that one, Gorgidos.
Farewell, Gorgidos.
Atalanta, it is good to see you with another human. If you can convince Lycus to leave, you could be with more of your kind. Arcadia has human neighbors.
Saria is my home, Bisa. It's clear it was never yours.
Home? What place is a home if it offers nothing but death? If you love him, Atalanta, you must convince him to leave. Traveler, you are of her kind. Tell her I speak the truth.
Atalanta can make up her own mind. She doesn't need human or centaur to help her.
Stubborn fools. I am trying to save the Aleph, but you would see him die. Leave me, all of you. There is no use talking to you.
Atalanta, you keeping these travelers out of trouble.
Going to help them find it, actually. We're headed for Hermes' shrine.
Just the three of you?
3 it is. Unless there are others who would come with us.
There are those willing to stay and fight for this village. But the shrine? We have no one to spare for that.
What is it that you do here, Agrios?
I work as a bronze weaver.
Centaur arms and armor are highly regarded for their craftsmanship.
A bronze weaver is something like what your kind call a blacksmith. We Nisiros believe that all things created have a life. Weapons, pots, homes, everything. I don't choose the form to give to a piece of metal. I only help it become the form it chooses for itself.
A beautiful perspective. Similarly, a good staff is not made, but found. I like to think of my own staff as a child of a great tree. A child overcome with wanderlust to see the world.
You're preparing for a fight, I see. Not planning on leaving like the others.
I did not cross the seas, only to turn tail when up against it. This tribe chose me to be an elder, under Lycus. As long as any remain, I remain as well.
What is it that you do here, Agrios?
I work as a bronze weaver. I don't choose the form to give to a piece of metal.
A beautiful perspective. I like to think of my own staff.
We won't take any more of your time.